Welcome to the podcast on how to help people who is struggling. And welcome to Susan, the best one, the best mate for the podcast. How are you?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Alessandro. Yeah, you too. Same. I'm good. Thank you. I'm great. I'm really looking forward to today's topic because
Yeah,
I think, I can relate to that very well. And I know how much I truly want to help friends or when my family is struggling. It's something, yeah, I definitely want to come right away, run and help.
yeah. Sometimes we have. I think that all of us had the problems in life. All of us had struggles, and maybe sometimes we also learn how to exit from our struggles. But I believe that nobody has never ever taught you how to help somebody to exit during their struggles. Correct?
Yes, it's a really good question. I mean, when you say help, what does that actually mean? And how do you really help somebody? And is what you are doing really helpful? I think these are quite interesting questions. I mean,
What is it for you helping?
helping is for me mainly listening, I would say, especially when somebody is struggling. And I would say also helping is empowerment, empowering the person to find his or her own solution.
This is already a good point because often I remember one time I was in a presentation about coaching, and I was talking about the definition of coaching, how coaching can be helpful. And at some point, I saw one person raising the hand. So I avoided. No, I'm kidding. And
Yeah.
okay, ask your question. And she said, okay, but what is the difference between coaching and a talk with a friend? Yeah, this is a really good point. And often when we talk with friends, we end up giving some advices about our life and say how they should live based on our experience. So you already touch a good point that says, okay, we empower the person based on their life. Like let them understand what is the best for them. Correct.
Totally. And I think it's an art. From my perspective, it's truly an art. I mean, how, and to be honest, for me, it was also a long way. I mean, how often um, did I try the quick fix solution in a certain way? For me, it's like that, like somebody telling me, oh, I have this and that. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I need to come up with a solution quickly. Here you go. And yeah, that's it. And usually then what happened was that the person was really, like my friend was maybe upset or annoyed because they were like, you know what, I just wanted to talk to you. I wanted to share you how I am. I just wanted to share my feelings. I wanted to connect with you around it. I wanted to feel understood. And but what I very often thought was like, oh shit, they're expecting a solution from me. Um, and that's what I did. But also after a while I realized I didn't only do it for them, I also did it for me, because it was so hard for me to accept their suffering. I was like, oh shit, this is like, because I didn't know how to stay with suffering. I think this is something more challenging than I thought. It's just like accepting, yes, somebody is suffering, but in a way that, I mean, what is suffering? It's actually, it's a process. I mean, you have an issue and you try to grow. It's a growth process. That's what suffering for me is. Um and I think everybody does it in his or her own pace.
Mm-hmm. So
And
you were so much empathic that you were suffering with the other person. And you want,
yes.
when you say like fixing, you mean I wanted to fix her or his suffer so I could also stop feeling the pain as well.
Yeah, I didn't only want to fix his or her suffering, but also my own. Because like, shit, this is really, wow, this is worrying me. And this is, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, when my mom or my dad or my husband are not feeling well, for sure, this is worrying me as well. Now less, to be honest. I mean, I would say now I understand and I see when I'm starting to fall into this trap, like saying, like making their problems my own in a certain way. And I can step back from that and say, you know what, this is neither it's helping me nor it's helping you. So that for me is also the first step to say, okay, like I'm actually not helping when I'm trying to push the person as quick as possible towards a solution that even is maybe my solution, as you said, right? That, yeah. How's it like for you? I mean, now I already gave a lot of insights from my perspective, but I'm really curious to hear yours as well.
I feel this is a good point that when we want to, first of all, helping is not really the word that I like the most, because helping means that the other person need to be fixed or has something wrong. I don't like so much this this part, but let's say helping. If I want to help somebody, I need first, how you said, put some boundaries around me. Because if I feel too much the pain, if I feel too much the suffering from the real person, it happened, how you said, that I want to exit so quickly that after I will give so many ideas, so many solutions. It's it's problem solution all the time and not feeling. I don't listen really because I want to give a solution very quickly because I want to end as fast as possible these kind of emotions. And so, how you said, putting some boundaries around us, it is very helpful for us to go next and be able to support the person.
Yeah, for me, it's not even boundaries. For me, it's more like to say I'm okay to sit with suffering and not trying to change it right away and to kind of avoid it. Just to say, okay, it is what it is, but it's yours.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you mean by suffering. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
And it's okay that you suffer. It's fine.
I really quickly example that I had in just yesterday, because I'm moving and I'm selling all my stuff. And I have a desk who one of my mom's friend gave me for free. And it was from her dad, who passed away last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember very well. And I wanted to sell. I even started to sell it. But my mom texted me and she said, wait, you don't want to text Roberta, her name, and ask her if it's okay for her that you sell it and do this stuff, because maybe she was very attached and she was, okay, mom, you're having pain from the other person who was ready to throw away the desk and she gave me for free. And I don't mean that is not correct to ask her and say, okay, what do you want to do with the desk? But it's not my mom's duty. She's feeling the suffer from the person that maybe she even didn't feel it. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know. Yeah, I totally understand.
So sometimes we need to feel our emotion and don't try to feel too much the other person emotion. It's good to have a balance. To be supportive, we need to be empathic. But if we are too much empathic, we can't be supportive.
Yeah, I think For me, yeah, I think we can. But I don't want to. I think what I see is also that I think, yes, you can feel it fully, but you can recognize that it's not yours. I think for me, that's the main difference, is saying your emotion, it's what you create inside yourself with your thoughts, and it's part of you. And my emotions are part of me. So to kind of still say, okay, this is your world, and I completely appreciate, recognize it, and I'm open to feel your world, but it's like watching a movie, right? I mean, when you see a sad person in a movie, you see it, but you recognize that's not you. It's just that person with her emotions and her thoughts that are connected to these emotions. And for me, this is kind of like, for me, this is how I personally balance it out, to say, yes, I feel it, but I also, I know these are not mine.
What do you think we should avoid when we want to help or support somebody?
Denying. I think this is a very important part, to say, no, it's not that bad, like sentences like this, or like saying it's gonna get better. It's like, yeah, every sentence or everything that kind of like denies the situation in a certain way, I think is very unhelpful, because this also gives the signal to the person that it's not okay to have that situation. But I mean, it's there and the feelings are there, so they are part of their reality anyways. So I think it's important as a first step to appreciate everything that's there.
There is a quote that I really like that says, there is not a most painful or struggle that the one that we are living. It is whatever we are living, our pain is the most painful. Even if for the other person is not so difficult. But it's our. So we also need to understand that our world is having kind of difficult moment, and we need to understand this one. If we deny, how you said, we start to lose a bit of trust from the other person.
Yeah, and I think we lose also connection. It's trust and connection. And for me, this is the basis. Like, this is the basis on which you can actually help, I would say. What else do you think we should avoid?
Don't judge. Judge the person.
Yeah.
It's very important to let them feel that you're there. You're there for them, and it's fine. They're okay. There is nothing to be. They are not a wrong person. They're okay, and so it's fine. Even if they're living a bad period, it's okay. We are all living bad periods, and it's fine. It's part of life. But I don't judge you. So this is a very important point, and something that I really experience in my life, in my coaching experience, my clients, that it create a lot of connection. This one.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is because, anyways, there is so much to appreciate in these situations, because struggling is really, it's hard work. It's hard work towards a solution. This is like a baby starting to walk. It's like it will fall down. It will fall down again and again. And at some point it will walk. And this is also a struggle, right? It's like constant. And I think also that's how we should see it. And I think, and that's what also helping for me really means. It says, hey, I help you in your way. I help you, as you said, right? And very often I do ask my friends and ask them, hey, what is it? How can I help you? Because I think the other person knows best, right? I think that's a thing. And because the other person knows best his or her problem. And this is already the fruit of the solution, because when you know the problem, you know where to go and what's the need, what's what you're lacking, what is not working, and so on. And it's the same. Like sometimes also my friends say, you know what, I need a little bit of your knowledge, or I don't know, do you have any relaxation technique for me? Can you teach me how to meditate more regularly, or what can I do? And I think this is also fine when you give technical knowledge, like when it's really requested. I think this is really the big difference. What is actually requested?
What they need, what they want, and not just giving what you think that they need.
Yes, because as you said at the beginning, right? Because otherwise you would just push your own point of view upon the other person, though you're not them. So that will fail right away. That's for sure. And I mean, it failed for me. I tried that at the beginning, to be honest. And it failed.
Yeah. But, to do this point, I think that we need to understand two very powerful techniques. One is stay silent, so listening what the other person says. And the second one, when we talk, asking questions to be able to listen more. So we know their needs, what they want, what they really are struggling with. So because sometimes we know they says some short information and we think to know everything. But actually, to understand, we need to know all the point.
Yes, definitely. I think it's also, I mean, I did a certification in client-centered counseling and therapy, and I think I really love the approach because you're totally with the person, full of empathy, and you totally connect and just say, okay, hey, so, and you feel with the person, you say, hey, what do you actually need? And I hear what you say, like a lot of paraphrasing as well. And I think that can help massively as well, right? Saying, okay, so what I hear now from you is that you're really stressed out about this and this topic, and that this and that is really blocking you from moving on. How do you feel about that? So I think, and I've seen very magical changes with that just by listening.
Yeah.
I think it's an art. It's not so, because I think it's not just listening. It's really, for me, it goes a lot deeper than that. It says, I recognize that I'm different, but that we're equally worth. I think that's what it also says in Behind the Lines, right? When you listen to somebody and just recognize and appreciate, you say, I appreciate your role and I appreciate your differences, and I love you the way you are, and I do not try to turn you into somebody else, and I help you to get where you want to be. And this is, I think, so powerful.
Giving them value and credit, it's very powerful, how you said. And they feel it, and they start to trust you, create, how you said, connection, and then they open themselves. easier. And when they open, it's also easier to know more about the person and about the struggle and about how they are dealing with their strategies. Because after, when you understand what is the problem, you understand also what is the strategy that they're using. And at that point, you can help them maybe with another strategy or understand, okay, this part, this behave, is it good for you? Is it helping you to reach this point? Yes, no, how do you feel? And as much as you can understand this part, as much as you can also try to substitute some kind of behaviors or beliefs in a smoothly way, not a strong way.
Yeah. And I think also these are, for me, also the most important questions in that sense. When you want to help a person that is struggling, is like really saying, how can I help you? How do you feel? What do you feel is right for you right now? In order to really help that person to reconnect with him or herself. And I think also the deeper that person opens up, the deeper she or he can really experience a solution and say, okay, so this is what I need right now. You can help the person actually understand him or herself, and that's, I think, really beautiful, and it's a big gift that you can make someone that is struggling.
How do you deal with people who says, I don't know?
I would say it's okay. It seems that you are struggling to find out what you need now. Is there anything that you feel could help you to get more clarity? I would do it that way.
Okay. Okay. So,
because just saying, like, very often this is like a quick pushback. I mean, I say that from a psychologist perspective now, right? Very often it's a pushback towards, I mean, and this is something you can mention as well. I have the feeling that you would like me to give you a solution now, or that you would like, you could talk about the feeling that generates within you as well, saying, okay, is that something you wish me to provide you a solution? Do you feel it's hard for you right now to figure out what to do, and you feel overwhelmed? And then you can get back into the conversation.
It's a way to give back responsibility to the person, like to understand what they want and what they need.
Yeah.
And even if they say, no, I don't know, it's a way to change the question or change the angle and to give back the responsibility. Because too often we lose this point. And when we are the one who is struggling, we want just to give to the other person, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to think about it. Okay, but if you want, move on. If you want to change, you also need to think about this one, about this part. What is painful, what you need, what you want from me, this part. Because if you are in front, you can also say, okay, you know what? I don't want to talk about this one. I just want to go play something and smile and laugh, and it's fine.
Yeah, and that's,
you know it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think an I don't know can be so much, and it's worth to discover together what is in behind the I don't know. It can be I don't want to think about it now. It can be I feel overwhelmed. It's very hard for me to find a solution, or go away with that. I don't want to deal with that right now. I mean, again, there's so much. Yeah, it is. I think it's a good point to go deeper even into exploring and to see what's in behind.
Yeah, this one is something that I learned during my previous job, when they explain how to deal with I don't know or with a no, and never stop with this one. Because behind this answer, there is always some information. And if we want to help somebody, we need to uncover these levels understand what are the information that they are hiding, or they are not even discovered so far. Maybe they think they don't know, but they know inside themselves. So it's up to us to, don't stop. I don't know it. Okay, it's fine. Let's discover.
Or it can be also an I don't want to know, because I'm scared what would happen if I know. I mean, there are so many possibilities with that question that can be in behind. I think it's a beautiful start. This is it's a good statement to go deeper, actually.
Yeah. And it's very important to keep being empathic to this point, because any answer we need to understand and feel it also. Try and to understand the feelings, because also feelings are always giving us some informations. So if I understand the feeling that you are dealing with, these feelings are giving you some information that you are happy or not happy with something.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, when you're frustrated, there might be another different unsatisfied need in behind. So it can be, but I think I don't want to make it that difficult, because I think the easiest really advice I would give, just listen and try to empathize as much as possible. I think that's just maybe sometimes, and I know this situation, you're not alone, I've been there too, can sometimes do so much magic. Can be so simple from my perspective.
Yeah. Sometimes we overcomplicate the situations. We think that we need to have the magic pills with the other person and say, yeah, there is this one, the solution, magic solution. And actually we just need to listen and be there.
Yeah, I think the issue maybe also is that we think helping means providing a solution. I think that's maybe the issue that's in behind, that we think that's the way to help. But the struggles is actually not the way to help. It doesn't help. So I think that's also kind of like a shift of mindset you need to do if you really want to help a person, is to say, okay, the way to help is actually to stay, empathize, and listen.
So actually helping, it's very simple. It's a very simple act.
It is.
One question: how do you, in your experience, recognize when someone needs to be helped? Because often we don't ask for help. Because
it's true.
we're stubborn, or because we are whatever. How you can do it?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, especially in a friendship. I think when you notice remarkable changes in mood, that can be mood swings, or for example, with friends that suddenly do not contact you or message you anymore, or so whenever you, I would say, notice changes from the usual behavior, that might be a point where you might want to take a look at it and say, hey, what's going on? I don't know, I wouldn't even say what's going on. I would say, how are you? That's not, because what's going on is like, I would.
I saw a video where there was this guy who said he met one of his friends, and they met in her house. So I went there. I said, how are you? And she said, I'm fine. And I answered, okay, but tell me, how are you? Really? She said, no, really, I'm fine. Then again, I said, no, really, I'm here. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
And at the third time, she said, you know what? Thank you. Because I really need to to talk about how I am.
Yeah, and that's also a thing. I also think you cannot really push a person to say, like, you might feel it, but again, it's up to them to decide if they would like to talk about something or not. But I think what you can do in this moment is to provide a space, and, for example, suggest to meet up, or just, as you said, just say, you know what, just to let you know, I'm available, like, whenever we can have a talk, whenever you want. I'm open, I'm here to help, I will support you. Just saying I'm there whenever you need me. I think that, but without pushing, important.
Yes.
So
It's very important to leave space and time, how you said. I also notice from how I am, I have my sister and another friend who are very good with me in this part, because normally in the past I struggle a lot asking for help, and what they learned, it was that they give me space and time, and at the same time they were present, sometimes just with one message, maybe sometimes just with one call after a while, just to say, okay, I'm here, but I don't leave you alone. Like, I don't stress you. You don't have to push yourself and talk with me, but I'm here.
yeah,
It will help me a lot.
totally. I totally agree. That was beautiful, Alessandro.
Yeah, this is actually helping people is very simple. We don't need nothing special. And just be empathic, listening, and yeah, be there.
Yeah, and just provide possible spaces, right? Provide possible spaces. Be present without being pushy.
Yeah, exactly. So for today, it's everything. And we see for the next episode next Wednesday with another nice subject. Because
Oh, really? Really, really,
yeah, it's about
Alessandro, what is
stress.
it?
Something
Stress.
that we all feel it sometimes. And you know what? Stress is optional.
Really?
How to say goodbye to stress forever.
I love that. Let's look into that topic. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Alessandro.
Thank you too, Susan.